Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah and today I have another wig review for you for this gorgeous style called Big Time by Raquel Welch in the beautiful color Biscuit. Now, if you want to know how the color is composed, to which style she looks very much alike, what special features she has, how the cap looks from the inside, and how I like her, then stick around and let's get started. So, Big Time has actually been on my wish list for a while. I've seen and tried a lot of Raquel Welch styles, but there are so many, so there are still some to come that I'm interested in and that I would like to try and possibly also own. But it's the first time I get the chance to try Big Time. And today I am able to show you this beautiful style courtesy of my friends Jan and Silke from Perückenglück.de, my favorite online wig shop in Germany that carries all the great American brands. And there are more to come. And by the way, they deliver all over Europe. So if you're watching from outside of Germany and are interested in buying, check them out. I have a link down in the description box below. And they really have great prices. And oftentimes they run special sales, so you can get great deals there. If you haven't done so yet, you really should check them out. Now, this one here was a return, and Jan and Silke graciously sent it to me so I can review it first before it goes on sale. And it probably already has sold by now. If not, you will find it in the sale section of Perückenglück.de. And I'm so glad and happy I get to try this style finally. So Jan and Silke, thank you so much for giving me the chance to try her and show her to everyone. Thank you. Now, Big Time actually reminds me very much of one of my all-time favorite Raquel Welch styles. Now, if you watched my top 10 favorite wigs of all time video, you know, my number one then was Editor's Pick Elite by Raquel Welch, and I'm sure it will stay in the top 10 forever, and I love that style. But if I go by the number of times I've worn a style in the last year, I must have to say that it's another one. That's my number one, the one that I have worn most of all, and that is very, very similar to this one. And that is Upstage by Raquel Welch. It's in the color Shaded Biscuit, my absolute favorite blonde, whereas this one here is Biscuit, the unrooted version, which I think is also a beautiful color. Now, apart from the color, I think that these are really not just sister styles, but more like twin styles. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, I put them on a wig head next to each other and turned both heads and compared them. And I think these two styles are absolutely identical. They have the same length, the same cut, the same layers, and just look the same. Actually, I've never watched a review of Big Time. I think, at least I don't remember it. So I'm not sure if somebody else ever discovered that, but I think that Big Time is more or less the less expensive version of Upstage. And the reason for that is that Big Time has less bells and whistles, as we say, than Upstage, whereas Upstage has a completely fully hand-tied cap. This one has an extended lace front and monofilament top, but the rest of the cap is wefted, which of course gives it a lower price point. But I would say visually, they are absolutely identical. So for me, and probably for you who didn't know that either, this is great news. Since you always loved and admired Upstage, but never got one because it's too expensive for you, you could really check out and get Big Time instead. And I think you get the same wig, same fabulous fibers, same gorgeous lace front and mono top, except for the hand-tied cap. Now, if you are somebody who really only wears fully hand-tied, then of course Upstage is the one for you. But if you're like me and you think these special features are absolutely enough for me, I really don't need the fully hand-tied cap, then you can definitely get big time and have the same look for less bucks. So no wonder I'm in love with big time, since it's the twin to my favorite Raquel Welch wig. Alright, now let me show her to you from all sides and afterwards, of course, also in natural daylight. So, how do you like big time? Do you also love it like me? And do you agree it really looks just like upstage? Now, the style is a long bob or shag. I would call this more of a shag for the flippy ends. And I love those flippy ends. I think they have that 1960s touch and always remind me of Doris Day movies. So I wear it like this too. Of course, the stock photos and the way others wear upstage is more rounded, like a bob. Of course, you can always do that. I've also worn her like that in the beginning, but then at some time after straightening her out, I realized that it looks just as great like this. Very sleek and, you know, without a lot of volume. But it still has a great shape and volume because of the layers. And I think I personally would straighten the ends a little bit, that they're a little less flippy 60s. But still, they always flip a little bit since they're touching your shoulders. And I think this is such a gorgeous and flattering look. And the fact that it's layered means that it's not a face flopper at all. I mean, you can shake your head and move, and this will always stay out of your face, which is fabulous. And probably why I love it so much, except of course for the fact that I think it just looks gorgeous. Now, like I said, the wig features an extended lace front and full monofilament top, which means you can part her wherever you like, on the left like me, or on the right, or in the middle, just as you prefer. And it will always look very, very realistic. And of course, as always, I'm going to show you this from up close. And as always with Raquel Welch, I think their lace fronts are the best. They've done a beautiful job on big time. I think the density here is beautiful. You can't see through, it's perfect. And the knots are so fine. And of course, with the color Biscuit, without the root color, it even looks a tiny bit more realistic than shaded Biscuit, since there are no dark knots at all. So it really looks as if the hair is growing right out of my scalp. Of course, in the very bright lights here, you can always see the lace a tiny little bit, but in every other light, and unless somebody is standing like 1 foot away from you, they won't notice that at all. And the lace front is extended all the way down, approximately halfway to the ear tab, which gives such a great and natural appearance. And also the part on this mono top here is beautifully done. With Raquel Welch, you never have to pluck the part. It's always perfect. And there are actually not many manufacturers that master this and get such a fabulous look right out of the box. I can think of 2 others that I could name that do a great job with their mono tops and also mono parts that look so realistic and are not knotted too densely where you just can see through. But Raquel Welch is definitely my #1 when it comes to these special features and the realism their wigs have. And we can talk about permatease next, although there really isn't much to talk about since this wig has almost no permatease at all. There's none in the nape, none in the back, none on top since it's hand-tied, and just the tiniest amount on the sides, which is the only difference to upstage that doesn't have any permatease at all since it's fully hand-tied. But you know, this one really has hardly any permatease too, and also the density is really low. I know many of you think that probably haven't tried Raquel Welch before, that Raquel Welch wigs have very much hair and a very high density, which is just not true. I've actually had several Raquel Welch styles where the density was even too low for my taste. You know, when you have to pay attention that everything is combed perfectly so the wefts won't show in the back, then the density is definitely too little, and I don't like it. Of course, there are these styles that have a lot of volume and also a lot of fibers, you know, a very high density, like Unfiltered, for example, or also Stroke of Genius has a lot of hair, and still I love it since it gives it great volume. But this one here, as well as Upstage, have a rather low density, similar to Ellen Wille wigs, and you can wear this really sleek if you like. And it also feels very natural. So that's another thing I love about this style, and nevertheless, it really looks great. And you can also, you know, zhuzh it up and give it more volume if you like. It's a great style, in my opinion. All right, now let's have a look at the cap from the inside. So here's the cap from the inside. Here you can see the beautiful lace front that is extended all the way down into the ear tabs. Then here's the seam between the lace and the monotop, which is really big, so you really have enough parting space. Then she has felt covered ear tabs with the metal stays inside. The rest of the cap is wefted. It has an extended nape and adjustable straps with Velcro, which I love and prefer. So this is a very well made, high quality cap. Okay, normally I would take you outside to my balcony, but since there are approximately 2 inches of snow on my balcony and it's really slippery, I don't want to break my neck, so I'm gonna stay inside my living room. But I will open the balcony door so that enough light is coming in so you can see that gorgeous blonde in natural daylight. So, how do you like the color? Isn't Biscuit just a beautiful blonde? And do you like it unrooted or prefer rooted like me? I think both colors are gorgeous, but I'm going to stick with Shaded Biscuit. Now let's talk about the color for a minute. Biscuit has the color code RL1923, and I think I haven't shown this a lot before since I always wear Shaded Biscuit. Now, I think it's the same beautiful color just without the root. And Raquel Welch describes the color as a light ash blonde, evenly blended with a cool platinum blonde. Now, if we have a look at the color codes, the 19, which is the base color, is a light sandy blonde, and the 23 is a light ash blonde, which is one of the highlight colors. Now, there's also a platinum in there as a highlight color, which is probably the 101. They don't give us the color code. But all in all, even without the root, I would say this is a very dimensional blonde. It has a lot of highlights and lowlights and looks just gorgeous. I absolutely love this color, but personally prefer the Shaded Biscuit, which will stay my favorite blonde. Okay, that was my review of Big Time. I hope you liked it and it's helpful. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any future videos. And there's a new one coming out each Friday. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below and I will definitely reply. Now, thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you're well. Stay that way, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye. But I think that Big Time is more like the then of course Upstage. And Raquel Welch describes the color if I can find it. Now, if you love the style and you're interested, why not check out my review of Upstage? Or maybe you also like this one here, or you just check them out both.